Hey, how's it going? This is Tommy. I'm doing a another update actually to my fountain pen collection. I realized that I have not done any videos in a very long time, and felt kind of bad about that. So um, I do have a few other hobbies that I got into. Took a little bit more of my time. Got engaged, got married, and just a lot of different things going on. And actually, I think I might changed my job last year as well. So I just wanted to talk about my fountain pen collection as it stands right now, and I think I will be adding some more pieces to it. So I'm just going to start right here. So this is my Anderson. It's not Anderson, sorry, Edison Collier Persimmon Swirl. It's a nice big pen. It's actually one of my favorites. I was eyeing this one a while ago online when I was researching things, and it just really stuck with me. And finally, ended up getting it, and I really enjoy it. The one that's missing here is actually in my car right now, and it's the really dark blue version of that one, which is also very nice. But I still favor this one. This I got this past year at the Boston Commonwealth Pen Show, and was not planning on getting it. Was actually planning on trying not to spend too much money because it was a little bit. It was like 2 weeks before my wedding, um, but I saw it at a really good price, and it was something that I had my eyes on for quite a while. And that's the Ocean Swirl Pelican M805, and it's awesome. I've only written with it a little bit, but I like it a lot. But I like the look of it the most. I have a couple Parkers here. Let's see which this one is. The putting it just off camera just to see. So I believe this is a Parker 51, and then this is the Parker 51 Demi, or the smaller version. Really like how those write. Let me see if I can change hands here without covering the camera. So these ones pop right off there, and you can see what they look like there on the top. And these are very comfortable to write with, and they're very smooth. I was actually very surprised once I got my first one of these, which is this one right here, which is a Parker 51 Special. And I don't know, it just wrote so nicely. So quickly, I think within the next few months after that, I ended up buying a few more. So this is another pen that I really like. It's the Aurora Optima. This was also not really on my radar until I went to visit the what's it called, the pen store in Boston, Bromfield, and I was looking at a few different things, Pelican M600, Blanc 146, a couple other things, and they seemed a little bland, for lack of better words, in person, and that one really stood out, and the price was decent for what it was, and I snatched it up, and it just, everything about it just has so much quality. So I really like that, and I don't ink it up too much, but it's probably one of those that I'll probably never get rid of. This one here, I actually ended up getting on eBay, and I tried a few different Parker Duofolds, some of the more modern ones, and the older ones look really nice too, but you got to really know what you're looking at. I'm trying to remember, but I think this is from the early 90s, so it's relatively new, but it's not vintage yet. But I found it in really good condition. The person I bought it from was very reputable, and I think the price point was very fair. It's in very good condition. Once again, this is another one that I don't use that often because I kind of I don't baby it, but it's an iconic piece in my collection, and I definitely don't want to damage it or do anything to it. But I really like it. I would definitely pick up a dual fold in the future. And I really wanted this color. It's a little bit more orange in real life than what it's showing in the video. It's a little bit darker in the video. And then I have this one here. This one I've had for a little bit. So I'm trying to, oops, sorry, I know it's off camera. I'm trying to read it real quick. This is the Platinum 3776, which I really like. It is a little bit see-through. In blue there, you can kind of see the nib in there. Classic cigar shape. It's a very familiar shape. But this is one of those that has a fantastic nib. I got this one, I believe, on Amazon, but through a Japanese vendor online. And just beautiful gold nib. Writes really, really well. And, I've come to find that this type of pen, size, weight, even the design, the cigar shape design is one of my favorites. But not very heavy, but it's a really, really nice pen. This is the Parker that I've already mentioned. Sorry if my camera work isn't so great. And then this is my Sailor. Oops, sorry, I didn't get it on the camera. It's my Sailor 1911, which for quite a bit was my favorite pen. I think the nib, this is slightly heavier than this here, but the nib on this one was just amazing right from the get-go. I did let somebody try it out a while ago, or a couple people try it out when I was at a meeting, and don't think the nib is working as well as it was before, so I might have to look at it again. So now that I'm kind of looking at the video, just want to apologize if some of these were off camera when I was holding them up. So I just kind of want to do a different angle just so you guys can see them all. You can kind of see how they relate size-wise. And you can see that the SN Collier is huge. So these are ones that I gravitate to pretty regularly. I'm just going to open the drawer here. This is another set. So let's see, what is this? And I actually don't remember the name of this one. I'm pretty sure this is, you know what? Haven't opened this one in a little bit. Let me get it back on camera. What is that? Oh, it's like I think it's like an osminoid or something like that. This is one that I just found at a flea market. Nothing too special about it, but I don't have anything like it. It has like a different kind of nib on it. It's definitely vintage. So it has that there. There's just the little sack. But it's interesting, and it didn't really cost much at all, so I'll probably end up holding on to that one. All right, then this one is, I believe this is, let me put it up. I think this is the Flater. Let me put it on camera. Yeah, so it has the little points here, so it's a little bit of like a triangle almost right there, which is nice. So that's another vintage one. It's not in perfect shape, but it does write well. The cap is a little bit loose around the top area, but it's a nice little pen. I was using that one for a little bit. Now this one here, and this one I'd been looking at online as well. This is a Waterman. I believe this is the Korean. Let me just look at it real close here, off camera. It's not saying anything, so sorry, it's off camera. So this is not the Waterman Korean. So this is the Waterman Hemisphere, I believe. Is it the Hemisphere or the Expert? Shoot. I should probably know that. Might actually be the Expert, because I think the Hemisphere is a little bit smaller. But this is a nice one. It writes well. This one is a little bit heavier. I don't really use this one that often at all. But it's not one that I want to part ways with, because it is a good pen, good build quality, and it's in very, very good condition. So definitely going to hold on to that. The one next to it here is the Lamy 2000, and this one is an iconic one. I believe I got this in medium. I don't write with this as often anymore, only because there's so many others up here that I prefer. This one does have a little bit of a bland look, but it's super iconic. It's definitely one that I'm going to hold on to. That was probably one of my first pens that I got that was over $100. Might have been the first one, actually, because I think I got this one. This was in the $90 range, but I recall this one being over 100. I got it at a retail store. I got the Vanishing Point initially. I just couldn't get used to the grip, even though it wrote amazing, and ended up returning it and getting this one. And I much prefer this one. The design, everything about it. This one I had ordered on Amazon. It's the Pilot Lucina. It is available here and there, but I don't think it's an actual production right now, but they do have stock. It's a pretty short pen, very, very lightweight. And to me, between that and a Pilot Metropolitan, the Metropolitan I think is a little heavier. I actually prefer writing with this one, and I like this color a lot. It really, really pops. It's a little bit more orange in person as well. And then this one is, I believe, the Edison Perlette. I actually got this for my wife, just to have something of this style. So she doesn't really use it because she has other pens that she favors. So I'm kind of holding on to it for her, but it is hers. But I really like that material and the design. It's really nice. Then I have my Lamy Safari that I've had for a while. I've had like 2, 3, 4 other colors, but I always gravitate back to just keep it simple, and then that's fine. And then I think I gave a couple of my other ones to my wife because she likes the variety of colors. Then we have the Coeco Brass Sport, which is showing a ton of patina. I do need to try to see if I can polish it up a little, or just keep an eye on it a little bit better. I was honestly using this one as a daily writer for quite a bit, a little over a year ago, but it's really not getting any use anymore. But it is super durable and it's heavy too. Let me just put that there. But it's very nice. And then, and once you put the cap on it, and you post it on the back, it actually goes to a nice length. So it'd be approximately maybe this long posted. So it's a nice length posted for sure. Let me just put that back on there. This is one that I got on eBay. It's an Esterbrook, pretty common, but everybody raves about them, and they say they're very inexpensive for what it is, and they work well, and they're actually a good way to get started with repairing or working on pens, because they're not super expensive and they're pretty. They take a little bit of a beating, which is nice. And then this is my TWSBI Eco. I use this almost daily as well, for quite a bit because it has such a good ink capacity. It has pretty good build quality for sure. It's just a nice nifty little design here. At some point I would like to try a 580 AL, something like that, because they do kind of are supposed to feel different, get a different kind of pen. But I'm not in a rush. Those are readily available. So that's that drawer there. Let me just close this one here. Let's go to this one here. Get to it here. So this one has a few other things. So okay, so that is the Waterman Kareen. So this is definitely a heavier pen. I knew it going into it. I knew that it's probably not going to be my favorite pen, but I really, really, really wanted the inlaid nib. And this, it's actually not super heavy, just like that without the cap. It's definitely very comfortable, and the weight distribution is very good, so you can write for quite a bit and not get too tired. But this one I really wanted for that, a modern inlaid nib option there, and I like it. I definitely do like it. Like I said, it's a little heavy for me for everyday writing, but it's a great model. Then you have the Parker Vacuumatic, which is pretty common out there for vintage ones. This one's not in perfect shape, but decent. I did try it a few times, but this is one of those also that, when they're not in perfect shape, you want to be careful with them a little bit. You don't want to leave ink in the sack too long and things like that. So, and then this is a Parker IM, I believe, and I just got this because I really wanted something like this, but I had no idea where to get something like this. So this is kind of like a modern retooling of this one in a metal body. So this one is not used very much. It's a little bit heavier, and then it has a metal section where you grip it, which is not my favorite, but nice little pen and not super expensive either. So can't go wrong with something like that. And then this one, I honestly can't remember what this is, but it is Sheaffer. I'm not quite sure which one it is, and it does have the little knob to like a little plungy thing. Don't remember what model it is. This is another one that I found at a flea market. It's still in good shape, and I could use it, but also, you want to make sure that you clean it out and everything else. So don't use it, but it's nice to hold on to. This here, I haven't inked up, I don't think, but I think this is the Pilot Custom 74 or Custom Heritage 74. Has a little flat top there, and I saw this one at one of the pen shows, and I just love that blue. It's probably a hint greener than what you see on here. It's just a really nice blue in contrast with the silverish or chromish color there. It's just really nice. So I ended up ordering that shortly after I saw it. This is a Pilot Pereira, which also I haven't used too much, but everybody was raving about stuff in this price point and how nice the cap clicks onto it. It's nice and like cushiony almost, which is really nice. And that's also a very good pen. So I knew that was going to be nice, and I ended up getting this kind of gray color, which I don't think was a limited edition, but it was one of the newer colors that was available. This, I believe, is a Parker 21, I think. Might actually say it even on it. I think this is a Parker 21. So this is kind of like the budget version of the 51. Nothing too spectacular about it in the design. It's a little bit older than the other ones here, but it works well. It's a nice little pen. This here, I'm not even gonna remember what this is. It's a Waterman's, but I don't remember the model or anything like that. This I did pick up at a previous pen show, and it was basically, I know nothing about vintage, what's reliable, what could be like a good entry level to get into it, and this is what was recommended. I have written with it a couple times. It writes very nicely, has a little bit of flex to it, but it did worry me that you really need to flush it out really well so you don't get too much ink in the little sack there. This is my only Pilot Metropolitan here, and this one has like that little pattern there. I think it's part of like the animal collection that they had. It's just nice. I used to write with this one a lot when I first started. It was probably my third or fourth pen. This is where I found out that their nibs are definitely a little bit finer than the European or American nibs, and I liked it. I could write it with pretty much any paper on this, and it is a little bit heavier, being metal, but very good starter pen. And then trying to remember which model this is, but this is the Sheaffer. Can't remember the name of it. It's not the Triumph. I think it's a lifetime version too, but I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to maybe add it on the bottom. I know there's like a couple different versions that look just like this. This is not the extra large version. I don't believe. I think this is the regular version, and I don't think it says it on here. But it does say Waterman's. I mean, not Waterman's. Sorry, Sheaffer. But that's a nice pen too. Might be the balance. Maybe might be the balance. And then over here, I started like another little one for some other things. But a little while ago, probably about a year ago or so, I started collecting these Sheaffer Targa pens that are primarily from the 80s and 90s. And they had a ton of different versions, and they all have an inlaid nib. So these are actually pretty exciting. So this one here, I'm actually going to be gifting to a fellow fountain pen enthusiast. Let's see, it actually shows like the model number. This is the slimline version versus the other ones are the full size. I do have one missing that I am using. That's like a brown marble kind of color looking thing. So let me show you this one. This is one of my newer ones. I'm just going to take the cap off and put it back on screen. So this is all of these are going to be a inlaid nib, and every single one of these writes consistently and writes very smoothly. So I feel like this is going to be one that I'm going to continue to collect, because there are easily over 150 different versions of this pen. Through their lifespan, they remade some of them. They had different patterns. So this is kind of like one of the more generic ones, just kind of like a stainless steel almost looking thing. And then this black is also one of the more generic ones. And you'll see that they're like 100 and something or 1,000 and something are the more common ones, and then they kind of go from there. So I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see the designs here. So this one kind of has that design looking there, and this one has the straight lines up and down. And then they differ a little bit. Some have the black top. Some of them are just kind of like a solid top. I think all these are black top. And then going from there, this is my Preppy. I do have a variety of these. The cool thing with the Preppy, as well as the Pilot Varsity that I have here, is every now and again, I kind of keep them handy, and I will pass those on to other people that are kind of curious about fountain pens, and I'll be like, here, check it out, try it out. This is my Pilot Plumix. This one, I believe, has a very, very minute like stub nib. I'm not in love with it at all. It takes a different kind of feel to like write with them, because it is a little flatter on one side, and to me, I prefer smoothness versus like a sharp edge. But what do I know? I really don't have much practice with that. This is not a fountain pen, but I was going Parker after Parker after Parker, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get just a regular pen Parker version. So I ended up picking this one up. Kind of interesting. And I believe this one says made in the, what does it say? Oh, it says over here very little, made in the UK, which is interesting. And that's one of the reasons why I picked it up, because there was a stretch where a lot of the Parkers were made in the UK. So I thought that was interesting. I'll probably have to get a new, more ink or whatever for it. This I bought on a whim. I never use it. And it wasn't super cheap either. And I don't know if I'll be able to sell it. Who knows? It's an Acme pen. They're pretty collectible. Let me pop that right off. And it's not super heavy. Has a nice nib there. Simple stainless steel nib. The cool thing with these ones, though, is that in the box it comes with another internal piece to make it into a rollerball. So you basically got a roller ball and a fountain pen in the same box. And I thought it was neat. It was an interesting idea. Not my favorite pen, but yeah, who knows? You know, if you ever need to switch them out, you can switch them out and whatever. So this is basically my collection right now. I have another one of these coming in, which I'm pretty excited about. Should be in a couple days. That's like a green marble looking thing, which I'm very, very excited about. It'll go really well with this collection. Eventually, I would like to have this whole thing here, all different Targa, Sheaffer Targas. That'd be nice because they do, come out there on eBay pretty regularly, but trying to get the more rare colors is interesting. You do have to shop around. So I'm going to zoom back a little bit and yeah. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, if you have any questions about any of these, or if you have experience with some of these, and you have your own stories or your own feedback about them, or if you're kind of curious to find out more about any of these, just let me know. And I will be 100% more active on this YouTube channel. So I apologize for being away for so long. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be picking up a couple new pens very soon. Maybe brands that I don't already have. But yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know about your collection. Thanks for watching.